Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Scar Talk. We kept our promise, made a second episode. Thanks to you, because you submitted a lot of questions. Those we're gonna answer today. But for sure, let me introduce our guest for this week.
Hello, my name is Thijs. I'm a White Scar member, as you can see. I'm also the secretary of the White Scars. A little bit official, not as official as you might think. And
Well, my name is Lloyd. I'm also a member of the White Scars. I have double allegiances. I'm also a member of another gaming club, but that's something for another time. I support these guys doing what they do.
By not wearing the club jersey.
By not wearing my shirt because it's still at home, because I didn't know I would be in this episode.
Yeah. Welcome, Lloyd.
Thank you, Milan.
Lloyd. Okay, so what are we gonna do today? First of all, we're gonna answer your questions, do the questions, and then Thijs and me are gonna show some of our miniatures we're currently working on. Some will be painted very back in the day, so you might see some progress in our painting skills. And then we have a little competition at the end of the video. So keep watching or skip till the end and hear how you can win the prizes.
don't skip to the end.
We've got some very important questions. So, how are we gonna do this?
Start the first one.
First one, top of the page.
Yes.
Okay, this one's for me. It's from Dennis Bos. Hey Dennis, thank you for your question. Hey guys, awesome job on the first Scar Talk. Well, we did awesome. I have some questions. Question 1. What's your least favorite opponent army to play against and why?
Easy, high house.
High Elves, Warhammer Fantasy?
Yeah.
Because?
Dragon Princess with the Banner of the World Dragon.
Yeah,
I don't play Dragon Princess, actually.
No, but yeah, the
They're
Banner of the
terrible.
World Dragon. Yeah, it's the banner which gives you a very good save against magic. I don't know for sure if we're allowed to.
And then with all the characters in the same unit,
Yeah.
it's like all buffed. It's like a character boss. And then a couple fast cavalry.
Yeah, the
units.
Illyrian Reaver there, guys.
Yeah. Just to mess up your game.
Yeah.
It's really nasty.
Yeah, it's a very typical tournament list, and me being a player who prefers casual gameplay and with a lot of narrative and scenarios, those kind of lists are really not my cup of tea. Another thing, I play a lot of close combat only armies, so when someone deploys a gun line at the other edge of the table, I'm gonna have a hard time. So think, for example, at the Dark Elf line with very much repeater crossbow dudes and what do you call them? The bolt throwers, or the well-known dwarven gun line. But not my favorites.
Well, it also depends on the player who's playing. It's like sometimes you don't really have a heart of a really good army in front of yours, but it's the player who kind of makes the game real bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
And
think
also anything toughness 4 and up.
Anything done for
I play elves, and even with loads of attacks and extra ranks and rerolls for your auto strike first and high initiative, toughness 4 is still, it's hard to kill.
Yeah,
It's
at least
so
you
hard to kill.
got a lot of rerolls nowadays.
I got a lot of rerolls, but I still didn't get the 5 and up for the wounding, so no way.
but you pay the points for toughness 4, so
Yeah, I paid a point for toughness 3, anyways.
shoot.
Yeah. But I think to conclude, just being more of the casual players, we dislike the tournament list, but not your list, but also the player makes the game.
And
so.
tournament lists in casual games.
Yeah, tournament is casual.
Exactly.
That's kind of the hard one.
Yeah. Okay, question number 2. What's your most desirable model that you don't already have? Good question. It's a good thing we're in the Games Workshop, so I'm just gonna
Browse
take a
around.
minute and take a look.
Nothing?
No, nothing.
Oh,
I got them all. I got them all.
Nothing yet.
Build a pony.
Build a pony. Oh,
Insane.
nice. Yeah. Out of production. Yeah.
It's the only model from the Shire range that I don't have.
Yeah, well, I really like most of the plastic clam packs for Warhammer Fantasy. I started collecting them one by one. I'm now almost done with the Vampire Counts line. I'm only missing the Necromancer and the Karn Raid. So for now, at this moment, it's the Karn Raid.
Alright, nice one.
For me, I just like the big stuff. And I
Big
really,
stuff.
I really like the Baneblade. I have some pieces of Imperial Guard armor from I think 10 years ago. I do have some Mordian Iron Guard, which I would like to expand, but Mordian Iron Guard. But the Baneblade, it's just this big piece of machine that just blows up stuff, and I love it.
But
I love it.
if you would buy a Baneblade, would you buy the normal version? We're looking at a Baneblade right now. For
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking at Beyblade. It's right
It's
up
winking
there.
at Lloyd right now.
It's staring at
Or
me. It's
would
saying,
you buy
Lloyd, buy me.
Or would you buy the Forge World models, like the big plasma guns and stuff? Just the Baneblade.
Just the Beyblade,
Just the
just that would be an accomplishment on its own.
Yeah, that's
I mean, this model is impressive. Even if it's not virtual, it's still
It's the same
one
size.
big
It's the
freaking
same size.
thing.
Okay, so big stuff, small stuff.
Rare
Then,
stuff.
yeah, his third question,
Collection stuff.
wine or cheese?
What
And
do
he
you-
spelled wine, not as the drink wine, because then
Because I love wine.
Yeah,
Always
always
wine.
always wine. But wine, like nagging.
The stuff he does.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a thing you see with most players, especially when you go around on the internet. Don't do it. A lot of people start whining about army lists and balance of the game, etc. And also players using cheese lists, especially what we talked before. Building a tournament list to
Yeah,
a casual
tournament.
game. So
The Dragonite bus.
yeah, tournament list.
But it shouldn't be a problem, if you have a nice opponent in front of you, you have a nice game. I've lost, like, completely table.
He plays Breton. So.
Let's see.
Losing a lot.
Last edition, people were whining about the overpowered high elves. Last
Yeah.
edition, people were whining about the overpowered Eldar codex, which just came out. It's not that cheesy if you play the stuff you like. Play the stuff you actually like. There's a fly here. It's annoying me. I mean, if you want to win, yes, sure, you can make cheesy lists and you can win, and everybody will whine because, oh my goodness, Eldar are overpowered. But as long as I play fun stuff.
But what,
So I hardly ever win. I lose most of the times, but I don't care.
but what I've noticed that most people that really, really whine about stuff are the guys who bring cheese, and then some other guy brings cheese, more cheese than he has, and then loses, and then he's gonna start to whine about how cheesy the other guy's list
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
and then his list was all fluffy and stuff, and
It's kind of like a race. You make a cheesy
Yeah.
list, another one.
There's always a
race.
bigger fish.
Yeah. So. Okay, next question, Thijs. This one.
it's for me.
Yeah, we're gonna go back.
Oh, what a coincidence!
What a nice name.
Oh, that might be my YouTube. Hey guys, keep up the good work. Thank you. 2 questions. What is your favorite army per gaming system and why? Mila?
For me, I just earlier this year started playing 40k, and my army was Chaos Space Marines. So for that system, it's obviously Chaos Space Marines. Although, thinking of the new codex for the Space Marines, I might switch to the side of the Imperium. For Warhammer Fantasy, Orcs and Goblins, First Love, awesome army, and the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it would be nice to say evil, but I think you're meaning to for me to choose a specific army, and then I would say the Hunter Orcs. Really like him. Narzuk is my hero.
Felwars.
Yeah, Narzuk, Felwars, best.
Killing Pippin.
Yeah.
Lloyd.
For me, well, for Fantasy, I started Fantasy at 10, 12 years ago. And I started High Elves. I also play Empire and Bretonnian, which are really lovely, but High Elves will always be my babies. So, as for Fantasy, High Elves, 40k is pretty much the same. I really adore my Eldar army. Although I do have a Khorne biker list from 5th edition, which was kind of cheesy. But it was insanely fun, and if I die, I would die really fast. So that's okay. But I do prefer Eldar. And as for the Lord of the Rings, I do have some army, but my favorites are still the Numenorians. I just expanded my Numenorians again.
Old school.
They're old school, they're actually still metal. They just came in, and they're awesome, and I love the army. Their appearance is just, I think it's awesome. So,
Well, for me it would be 40k. I think Space Marines, but that's just because I play them, not that I really like to play them or something. It's just I have one 40k army, and it's the first thing I played 2 years ago, and then I didn't really play 40k, but Space Marines. For the Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit series, it would be the Wanderers in the Wild of the Wild, with Ents, Treebeard, Moses, a couple of Shire folk there.
It's a very diverse army. Right?
Very diverse army, yes, yes. maybe some dwarves, like the Free People army book, but not the elves and humans and stuff. And fancy Bretonnia, always been, always has been, always will be.
True night.
Next question. As a Bretonnia player, what's your opinion about the Bretonnia army book being older than most new gamers? I have to introduce this question with a story. Yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, the day before.
I played Triumphs of Strategy on the gaming table here. And there was a boy playing with us, and he was 11 years old. And then it came to my mind, that's exactly the age of the Bretonnia army book.
Nice.
So I had a Bretonnia army book playing against me. Like it was. But most Bretonnia players don't mind that their army book's old. It's like they get used to it. They don't expect a new army book. They don't expect new releases. They're just happy that they're still around.
And you got your money's worth, you know?
Yeah,
when
plus-
you bought it
plus,
11 years ago. So.
Let's just say we get the most magic items in the world.
Yes, we do. It's 4 pages. 4 pages of magic items.
Yeah.
Do not change the magic item.
And 2 pages of virtues.
Virtues.
And I also think it kind of fits the theme of the army, you know, these knights still using their horses, scouring away from using black powder weapons in a world which
They
has
don't-
magic, black powder.
They don't like change.
Yeah, they don't like change.
They don't
Just
like
keep
change.
the old book. I think.
Just keep it.
Yeah, just the reason for it.
Soft cover.
Yeah,
Soft
we
cover,
don't want
black and white,
Yeah, black and white.
falling
constant.
apart when you
Yeah.
shake it.
No artwork changes.
No.
This is
But
the
the
way it
artwork
is.
is insanely cool,
Yeah,
so
it
that's,
is,
still
that's fine.
Yes. Next question.
I think we're off today.
Next question.
Ooh, you have to think about it.
Yeah.
I have a question on how it works with
It's from Chris, by the way. This question.
Chris.
Hi, Chris.
It's little Chris.
Right.
It's Christian.
I think it's Little Chris. Yes.
I have a question. On how it works with Crumble and Warhammer with Undead. Let's see.
Our group.
If you, our group question is if you can overrun or not when your undead crumble at the end of the combat resolution. We had to look it up, and
Yeah, we actually did some preparations before
and
the show.
technically, no.
If you follow the rule book, it would be no. And that's
Why?
simply for the fact that your round of combat ends when both parties have attacked. You can only overrun when your unit wipes out the enemy unit before the end of the round of combat.
No, in the round of combat.
Yes,
Before the combat resolution.
Yeah.
before combat resolution. Crumbling happens after combat resolution.
So you haven't wiped out the unit after the combat round, and after the combat round of combat, you decide whether you can overrun or not.
Well, that's what we thought when we looked up the rulebook. But then
FHQ,
Yeah,
FHQ.
FAQ. And what did that say?
It said yes.
You
So-
can overrun.
So there's your answer.
Yeah, we
Yes,
had a
you
whole
can.
debate about reading the rulebook, etc. How do they mean it? You know, how did they word it? But then FAQ, and it was you can.
It's also with demons and stuff. It's
Yeah,
not
the
just
instability of
crumble, it's
demons.
instability of demons, undead. There are a couple of armies that use those rules, and they're all yes. You can overrun.
Okay,
Alright, so
thank you, Chris, for your
thank
question.
you, Chris.
Nice to have a rule question.
Hope everything's clear now. So, next question. This is from Martijn. Thank you, Martijn, for sending us a few questions, actually. Hey. So, here we go. Hi, White Scars. Why did you choose the name White Scars as the name of your Warhammer club? I understand it's a chapter of Space Marines, but why did you choose their name to represent your club? What was the idea behind it?
Honestly, I don't have a clue. I have a theory, but I think Thijs has been longer around. So
Yes. It's really not that exciting. We started this club a couple years ago. It was initiated by the previous manager, Time.
I think.
Shout out to Time. And he chose the name because back in the days when this game workshop opened, and
Yeah, when the models were still made from wood. Right?
it's like 10 years ago that they had a small club called the White Scars. The club, yeah,
You do realize this store is 18 years old.
that's 15 years old. I don't know.
Long ago.
Long ago.
Long time ago.
Long
Galaxy,
ago.
galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
There was a club called White Scars in this Games Workshop, and well, they weren't around anymore. Just the name somewhere in the dark.
Yeah.
And then Tima came up with the idea to reintroduce the name White Scars with the gaming club. So nobody has a clue why it's called White Scars. Just
No. Respect your history. History and tradition.
It's invention or tradition.
Mhm.
Anyways,
okay. Next question.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, but to come back to the question of Martijn, I also think it's nice that White
Oh, your
Scars.
theory.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
theory.
you always
It's
say
a
it's
Yeah,
theory.
we talked it a few minutes earlier, but I think most of the gaming clubs use black colors to for their club jerseys, etc. And White Scars being white and red. When we visit the tournament, everybody sees us because we're not one of the
The black
hundreds.
shirts.
Yeah, the black mouse wearing T-shirts. No, we're white and red. Everybody see us. You recognize another White Scar. So it's kind of to stand out, I think.
It's a really nice color.
I have an awesome black shirt, so I don't care.
He's too cool for our new.
Too cool for
Yeah.
old school.
Okay, next question. Dennis van der Hoven. Thank you, Dennis, for your essay. This question is open to any and all White Scars. Well, that also means you, viewers. So I'm gonna read this very clearly, hopefully, and then you can react in the comments down below on Dennis's question. How do you feel about the development the game systems are currently going through? Be it Warhammer Fantasy with the End Times and the rumored Age of Sigmar,
No clue.
40k with Apocalypse, Escalation, Formations and Unbound and the added factions, or Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit SPG with the community support but lack thereof from GW, through the zero releases and reduced shelf space. How has this impacted your own involvement in said game system? Are you seeing shifts in the meta? What's meta?
It's the whole population. It's the everybody.
The meta. And
Philosoph-
where do you think this is all headed? Man, what a question.
We have to take a whole new episode for that, man.
Yeah, I think we do, but
That's fine.
I think there's a simple answer to that. If you like the game as it is, I think you're saying, like, not explicitly, but help! I do not want to lose my 8th edition. Help! I do not want to lose my Hobbit rules and stuff. And I want
the speed of the changes.
the speed of the changes. It doesn't matter how fast it changes, in my opinion. If you want to play 8th edition, if you want to play 6th edition, you got the rulebook, you got the models, just play it. Just play it. If you want to play more time, Battlefield Gothic, just play it. It doesn't matter if Games Workshop doesn't support it or anything.
No, it's not like your old miniatures are gonna explode or something. So.
Or crumble.
yeah.
But we can overrun now.
Yeah, you
We
can
can
overrun.
overrun.
That's nice.
It
To a new
is.
edition.
It is and always will be a community-based game. You need a community to play. It's not a game you can play behind your computer all by yourself. You need a community. It's simple as that.
Yeah, and in that case, the support by the community, especially our friends from the United Kingdom behind the Great British Hobbit League. Shout out. Yeah, it's a perfect example for a community who picks up a game which I don't think it is, but has been denied by some, and then brings it back to life again. So
Yeah, it's the same with Battlefield Gothic. They make new rules just from the community. They make new ships. They make new content. It doesn't end with Games Workshop.
As long as the community supports a game, Games Workshop has nothing to do with your gaming experience. I think that's the most important thing. Whatever Games Workshop releases, you can always do the things you like because it's your models and it's your rules, especially when it's at your place at home.
yeah, and in that case, I think it comes together with some of the changes you mentioned. Because, for example, the End Times and Unbound in 40k, they let you free in how to form your army. So that's also one thing that's more usual nowadays. That most of the Games Workshop systems are more you're more freely in how you play the game, how you build your army. So
You've got a lot
they're
more
less,
options.
Yeah, they're less rules. So.
You got a lot more options, but if you don't want to play by those options, you can fall back to your own 8th edition rules without the End Times, or even to your 5th or 6th edition if you like that more.
No, I
That's
think
no
you should see it
problem at
more as a setting in which you play a game than a strict set of rules which you have to keep.
If you have the Petronia Army book, you can even play 4th edition.
Worth your money, right? Yeah. Okay, next question. Chris G. Thanks, this one's for you.
Absolutely awesome job on the first Scar Talk episode, guys.
You
Keep
might
them,
have to look that one back, because everybody's telling it.
keep
really
them coming. So a couple of questions. Jeroen,
Jeroen, where are you?
We're gonna skip this one just for you, Rune. We'll save that one for next time.
you play Eldar, we don't. You do.
Yeah, I do, but I'm not Jeroen, so cheers.
Questions to anyone. What aspect of the hobby got you into it? And are there aspects of the hobby you dislike? How do you deal with that? And the last question, what is it that makes Rotterdam GW store the best GW store ever?
Because it is.
Winky smile.
Winky smile.
The first question, aspect of the hobby got you into? I think the painting, the modeling. I started out when I was like 9 or 10 years old. Bought a box somewhere in Germany of Space Wolves, 13th Company. And then a year later or something there was the De Agostini Lord of the Rings.
yes,
You were great. And then I just started painting models I liked. And it took me about 5 years before I started playing my first army, Bretonia. Because I just liked painting models and doing crazy stuff with conversions and making your own story. And I also like the Blanchitsu from John Blanche. It's like the artwork with really cringy, weird stuff. And I also like the couple pages of Blanchitsu in the Warhammer Visions. Just for that, it's worth to buy one. I got them all, number 1 to 17. They're just awesome. And I just think you have to explore your creativity and be creative.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that the whole assembling, converting of your models and painting them up is really nice. And I also really like the social aspect of the hobby. So, for example, when you compare it with something as game on your PC or PS4 or Xbox or Nintendo DS, Wii, whatever your thing. I think this is a very social game because you really interact with the other player. It's not something you do on your own or play with another person through the internet. No, you just see your opponent, and I think that's something that really speaks to me. What I really like about the game's fantasy and 40k is the whole lore behind the game. So I really like the narrative and reading about the background of my my armies and their heroes, etc. So.
But also making your own lore, making your own characters, making your own named characters, making them come alive. As you might say.
Come alive.
Forging the narrative.
Forging the narrative.
Isn't that right in the rulebook? Or right out of the rulebook? Anyways. Yeah, what got me into the hobby was just the whole atmosphere in the store. Just seeing people having fun, playing their battles, building their models. It just made a big impression on me. I was, I think, 9 years old when I saw this at first. And they all said like, yeah, you're a bit young. Come back when you're old enough. So every year I would come by the store, just check it out. And then a few years later I actually bought my first army. I just immediately started out with an army of high elves. High elves, of course, high elves. Which were actually underpowered in that edition, so
don't
blame me for overpowered army books.
Cheers!
What?
Nothing.
No. So that got me into it. It's a social thing. It's more than just a hobby. It's more than just building some models or just playing some games. It's much more than that.
Yeah, I also think that it's of course community based, but I think it's also a little bit personal. I think you can just relax.
Yeah, when you're coming down from work, painting a miniature, your whole world just
focus on that one miniature.
So clear your mind.
Was there more in that question? I don't know. I don't remember.
Something about an awesome GW store, right?
Rotterdam GW store, the best
aspects
GW store.
Oh, dislike.
Dislike.
Dislike. Do I
And
dislike?
how do we deal with that?
I dislike.
What do I dislike? I don't know. Yes, some people.
Why?
I don't know.
Now I think I really dislike people criticizing paint jobs. I mean, I know you can choose to play a cheesy list or whine about something, but come on, guys, we're not all golden demon painters, but we all invested our hours into it and our personal effort. And as I said, our armies are something personal. So if you can give tips or hints or something, but you don't say like, oh damn, that's an ugly army, or that's, why do you paint like that? That's not fluff wise. I had it once. I have a Bretonnia army, and I painted parts of my army green. Green is also the color of the Lady of the Lake, fluff wise. And knights aren't allowed, and Bretonnia players of Bretonnia isn't allowed to use the color green in their army. And then the guy, I think I have a nice painted army, and said,
We'll see it in a minute. So
why have you painted it green? You cannot paint it green. And I was like, yeah, but that's not the fluff I have behind my army, because I don't want to paint the color red. And then that's part of my fluff. And then we had a whole debate about the color green, and I was like, just leave me alone. And I was like, I just want to play a game and I don't care. And I think I really dislike like criticizing someone's paint job while you can really see they have put in the effort, or they have put in the time. I think that's just not done.
Yeah, and as you said, it's a personal choice. Some people just want to put a lot of time in just converting the models and painting them up, and then just put them in a cabinet for show. And other ones just really like playing the game and don't want to wait, spend a half a year painting their army before they can play the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's personal. I think it is important that you always play with a fully painted army, or at least try so.
Yes.
And when you don't, that there is some
Penalty or something?
or some kind of advancement in the way your army has been painted. So month 1 they're just grey plastic. Month 2 it has to be black, and then so on.
base coats and
Yeah.
highlights.
Yeah.
As long as there's progress.
Yeah,
Work in progress.
Should be progress.
And if someone asks for tips or critique, you can give it, but you don't come to a table and say, that's an ugly army, why have you painted like that?
Why would you do so?
How old are you? That's not the way it works, man.
No, that's how you get dice in your face.
Or an old school steam tank.
Yeah, or an old school steam.
Best GW store. Again, community. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're the community.
It isn't the biggest store.
Please comment below.
Yeah.
What makes GW Rotterdam the best GW in the world?
It's a really strange question. I think, well...
First of all, Rotterdam. It's an awesome city. Come check it out. So
Yeah, Rotterdam.
Because, Rotterdam.
It's a really hard question because it's all about community. I've seen Games Workshops like 4 times as big as the one in Rotterdam, or retailers like 5 times big, halls of gaming tables and stuff, and there was just nobody around. There was no community, there weren't any clubs or anything. And we have a lot of events, we have tournaments on other locations, and we have campaigns, multiple campaigns at the same time. We have leagues, the Rotterdam Hobbit League, we have all kinds of things.
yeah, we're gonna start a
get you
Kill
going.
Team League very
Kill Team
soon.
League.
So
It's paint competitions.
And also, fun fact, of course, Games Workshop Rotterdam is the oldest one in the Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg area. So that's a fun fact. It's 18 years old now. We'll be having our 19th birthday this September, so please come join us. That'll be fun.
Yes.
Just come and have a look at the atmosphere here. The gaming community is great. People are having
It's
fun.
all about the gaming community.
It's all about gaming. It's all about painting. People are having fun painting their own models at the tables here, playing a game.
And they do stuff. I mean, we got a community that isn't just sitting back, grey plastics or something. We have a whole group going to Throne of Skulls.
Yep.
Next week. You're going, right?
Yeah, next week. We're
Next
going.
Next week.
Next week.
How many people are going from the White Scars?
This year we're actually going only 3 people.
3 people.
But in previous years we've been with I think about 14 to 15 people.
14, 15 people.
So just imagine 15 red and white shirts in Warhammer World with all these black shirts.
I mean, they're going to England with 14, 15 people just by the community and
some playing the
Stuff.
tournament, some just for the sport. So.
Desolation of Stockport.
Yeah, Desolation of Stockport, the
Also
GBS
2
Open.
players.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all over, man.
Yeah, and I think also another thing that's really important, that this community is very open to new players, because every day you get people in the store who aren't already starting the hobby, and they when they eventually start, they speak of a very welcoming atmosphere. So I think that's also very
Yes,
important.
everybody helps each other out with painting tips, gaming tips, everything.
Rule wise, crumble.
Making a video podcast to help each other out. You know.
What do you?
It was about impressions about
Yeah.
Ninth or something.
What do you hope? What are your wishes for the 9th edition or Age of Sigmar like fantasy?
It's a question from
Vincent and Edgar,
Vincent and Edgar.
or also Vincent. I don't know.
Okay, so
Maybe a bit of both.
so for our hopes and fears for Ninth edition.
Expectations.
Expectations.
Hopes? Nothing.
Just
Bretonia? Nothing. Just don't change it. That's the way it is. I do not want to see Bretonia and black powder. That's a no-go. No black powder. Just no.
I don't think, especially army-wise, but I think especially big rule-wise. I don't have any hopes. I do like this edition as it is. Of course, there's always some things that can be tweaked or can be changed. But it's a difficult one. We always, some of the community have always screamed for more realistic combat. So they gave you more realistic combat by fighting in 2 ranks and always putting your maximum attacks in it. So, yeah, maybe they have to start rethinking some things to make it more realistic. But then again, wouldn't it be a bit too hard to put in just a rulebook like this instead of making it like this? So, no expectations, no hopes. Just keep the game awesome. That's all I ask.
Yeah, keep it awesome and
Keep it
new
awesome.
models. Really before.
New models are always
Yeah.
fun.
Well, I have one expectation. I think that we all know that The Hobbit started better games, Lord of the Rings, slowly but steadily going away out of the game's workshop range. I mean, we already see models from The Hobbit going out of stock and never coming back.
He really wants his pony.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a long time.
If you got one spare laying around.
If you gotta build a pony, please contact us.
Yeah. We're gonna make Thijs really happy.
But I think that Age of Sigmar and stuff will be just like 40k. We got normal 40k game, and then we got Apocalypse, which should be like Warhammer Fantasy, the End Times, 40k Apocalypse. But then there's this little, really nice skirmish game called The Hobbit that's going away. Wouldn't it be logical to assume that smaller games would be played like The Hobbit, more like a skirmish game? Maybe that's what Age of Sigmar is about. But I just think that it also makes it easy for people to play smaller games, because especially with Magic. Magic is it doesn't
always
scale
takes too
up.
long.
It doesn't scale up. It's always too overpowered or doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that always takes so long. When you're playing a big battle of Warhammer Fantasy with
100%.
several spelers, the magic phase is always the one in my eyes which takes the longest.
I usually blow up in the
yeah.
first turn,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
That's the easy part.
Yeah,
That's the
Blow it
part,
up.
man.
But when you don't, you know,
I
every
usually
time,
have
which
a
spells
very
I'm gonna
expensive
do.
level 4 mage which blows up
With the big templates.
turn 1.
Yeah.
Strength 10.
Strength 10 template. Up.
I think, but that's my expectation, that we will get a fancy skirmish game. We have already seen the round bases. I don't think that will change for fancy. Just a normal game, but maybe the skirmish game that will come like a skill below that.
Yeah.
Just like The Hobbit is now with small skirmish games.
Yeah, it would be nice if you got,
That'd be fun.
let's say, 20 models painted. You can play
I
straight
do
away.
remember
so.
6th edition our rulebook, which actually
Yeah,
had,
had,
had a
skirmish
section of
rules.
skirmish rules.
Yeah, really
So
nice.
maybe they'll place that.
And we got more time.
More time?
We had more time.
That's
I
nice.
still have more time models, so I still have more time.
Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see. 4th of July. So then we've got the first sneak peek. So.
Oh, and I hope that it's going to be a little bit similar like Triumph Treachery.
Yeah.
Because Triumph Treachery is more interactive than normal Warhammer Fantasy. You got all kinds of cards you can play and random deployments and random stuff. It's
Backstab each other.
backstabbing each
my
other.
thing.
That's what I do prefer about fantasy. It's more random. It's everything in my opinion. In some cases, Warhammer 40k is really point and click. Whichever you want to do, you can do. Whereas Warhammer Fantasy is a bit more planning ahead, but can always blow up in your face. Always.
Yeah, side flanks.
With
Side
random
flanks.
deployment, with random movement, random everything, random fanatics jumping out and jumping back.
Yeah, and charge distance being
Charge distance
Really
being
random.
really random. There's a lot more guessing and a lot more
I think that
unstable things.
40k, as you can see on our table when we play it, it's a little bit like hide and seek. I mean, it's slowly becoming a little bit more offensive, but it's a really defensive game. I mean, you don't want to be in open grounds. You want to be behind cover all the time. You want to be behind a big wall,
Yeah.
and we want to shoot and jump back behind your big wall. It's really defensive, and it's really slowing down the game because you don't get a lot of kills. So you just pointing out line of sights
Yeah.
and
Piece by piece.
piece by piece, and I think that's the difficulty from 40k, that it's more and more becoming a little bit
Still,
line of sight defensive game, and that's what I really like. What Fantasy is like, open. It's almost always an open ground battle area, and you just go for it. But you can also, you
well,
can
don't
also-
get me wrong, I love 40k as well, but it's an entirely different game.
It's
It's just an entirely different game, and there's more random things happening in fantasy. Just mainly because your wizard can blow up, and there's all kinds of stuff happening. Orcs and goblins just squabbling, not doing anything.
you can almost not compare them.
It's incomparable.
What are your expectations for 9th edition?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And
So
what
start your own video podcast and then just write it down in the comments below.
what are your hopes?
Yeah.
What do you
Hopes?
want to see? Do you want to see something coming back? Do you want to see something new? Do you want to see something disappear?
Yeah.
Whoever says Bretonia, please call me. We have a little talk about how awesome Bretonia is. No, they're not that awesome. They're just really cool.
It is really cool. I still have some armies back at home.
So
Last question.
that was the last question.
Yeah.
Last question. Let me get the prize for the competition. Thijs is gonna explain how it works. I'm gonna get the prize.
We have a little, almost want to say game for you guys. But we really liked your questions, and we hope to see more questions. And that's why we're gonna stimulate you guys. We want to see your questions. So, if you have the best question, and the next few white scars may decide,
Yeah.
you get a
Free logo. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Beep, beep, beep. That's- So,
and you can come and pick them up.
And the
Right
most
here.
awesome Games Workshop.
yeah, in the world. So that would be G-Dub Rotterdam.
G-Dub,
We're not gonna send
yeah.
it to you, so come by.
Sorry
First of
guys,
all, make a
from
question.
UK, and
They can't come by. They can't
yeah,
come by.
you can come back.
Yeah, if you're from outside the Netherlands, submit the best question, and and we
Eternal
you win-
gratitude.
you get a second logo for free.
A second level.
The second, yeah, of course.
For
When they
free.
come from overseas, man.
But it's already
Yeah.
free.
Okay, so they get an additional logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get 2 logos.
Yeah, 2 logos.
I won one.
So, best question gets a emblem.
Cool. That's it, right?
That's
Models.
right.
Yeah, models, and guys, we want you to post new questions. So
Questions and ideas and answers and
yeah, what do you want to see on Scarto?
the whole loop.
Who do you want to see on Scarto? Who do you don't want to see on Scarto?
Have we had a Triumph and Treachery battle report?
I think we have on the channel. I don't know. But
I
maybe
want
we'll
another
put it-
Triumph and Treachery.
Yeah, Treachery Battle Report would be nice thing to do. But for now, that's the question block, and now we're gonna go to
Check out our models.
models.
I have an Iron Halo.
Heresy.
Okay, guys, here we have some of my models I've finished lately. This one is Illic Nightspear. I'm currently working at the Eldar Alaitok Ranger themed army for our Tailfix gamers in G-Dub Rotterdam. Was my first 40k model I painted, so really happy with how it turned out. Then Wurzak, the Green Prophet. I've got a whole Savage Orc army, which I'll showcase maybe some other time if you want. Notice the little squiggly beast on the base. His most awesome deed was turning a fully kitted vampire lord into a squiggly beast, so I decided to put a token in his remembrance of the vampire count. And then the last 3 are my Witch Hunter, which I painted up for a, how do you call it, a warband campaign, and a Lokir Felheart and a Dark Elf Sorceress, which were somewhat of the color scheme test models for a soon to be finished Dark Elf army. And the latest force I finished are my vampire counts, which consist of a winged vampire. I still need to finish up the bat on his shoulder, but for now I don't really miss it. My Necromancer, which I built from the Empire Wizard Kit. 3 of my Spirit Host, awesome models. You can also use them for a lot of conversions for 40k or something. And the Dire Wolves, which I built from the Fenrisium Wolf Pack. It's a very common used conversion, but still, they really look awesome. So these are some of the models. If you want, just post in the questions if you want to see some of my complete armies next time. Maybe I'll bring them over and then show them off. We're gonna go through the projects of Thijs.
So guys, these are my Space Marines. Well, not all of them of course, but just Master of the Forts, Tech Marine, and converted Ironclad Dreadnought. Then we go over to my Volstorian Lightning, converted from an Orc Bomber of course. As you can see, the Aquila on the sides, Firstborn on the sides. Pew 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 pew. And then my work in progress, Rotterdam Hobbit League, Wanderers of the Shire. I've got Farmer Maggot over here. Floy Stonehand, converted from Gimli, with an Empire arm with scrolls and the head of Khazad Dûm Gandalf. Some Moses, an ant, Gamburigan, with a skull helmet, because they all look alike, and sometimes I lose Gamburigan in the big crowd of Moses. Bonderbras Took, and we all know we can have hobbits now. That's really awesome. Then over here are some of my painting competition entries. We got Dalimir, the Fleet Master of Umbar, Captain of Dale. Yeah, and they have Blood Angel. Just some nice models I've painted up, and then here it comes, a part of my Bretonia army. We got the Prophet of the Lady. It's actually the hand puppet with a carrier. Some mounted yeomen, peasant bowman, a grill relic, some knights of the realm with the paladin BSB, as you can see. I'm really happy with them, and I hope that I can play them for as long as I may live. There it is, the trebuchet. It's the Finecast model. It's really easy to put together, thank God. I used this one for King Luan. Well, it's just a fun model. I converted from the High Elf on a Griffin. And then something new. I know it's almost blasphemy. I've started out a small Empire army. Just very recently, I wanted to make an army of Nuln with lots of nobility. So we got BSB, nobleman, some noble captain, warrior priest, and they're all on city bases, like really small stones and stuff, and they got crates and rats running around them. Yeah, they're just part of a new project. So.
Hey guys, if you like this video, please comment below. If you haven't subscribed already, do it. If you have more questions, post them also below. And we hope to see you next time with Scar Talk. If you want to participate in Scar Talk, just give us a call, give us a message. You get to us. Thank you very much.